Now, a breaking news coming in from subcontinent. And the news is that Masood Azhar's nephew has been shot dead in an encounter in Kashmir. Local news agency reported that he is suspected to be among 3 militants killed during an encounter at the Kandi Aglar village of Pulwama district, Shah Hassan. The JM spokesperson identified Masood Azhar's nephew as Commander Talha Rasheed. He said that 2 other militants killed in the encounter include Divisional Commander Mohammed Bhai, a non-local Wasim, and a resident of Drupgam, Pulwama. Police is still verifying credentials.
Please, sir, please. Please, sir.
And I'm joined by my colleague Khalid from Srinagar. Khalid, what's the update on this encounter?
Well, it's a big success for security forces if Abu Talha is neutralized in the encounter. What local agency has quoted Jaish-e-Mohammed press release, quoting their spokesperson Hassan Shah that one of the militant, Abu Talha, who was earlier active in the North Kashmir Hajin area with a foreign group there, and now has shifted to was shifted to the South Kashmir for his activities. They were recently involved in the attack which was happened on the Naka party of police in Rajpura, Pulwama. What police told us yesterday. Mahmood Shah was a very big name in the militant list, which were on the A++ grade of the police list of militants. And he was the divisional commander of Jaish-e-Mohammed. It's a big setback to the Jaish-e-Mohammed. Yesterday, 3 militants, all the 3 were from Jaish-e-Mohammed. Wasim was earlier working with Hizbul Mujahideen. Later, he has shifted to the Jaish-e-Mohammed. And another thing which has been recovered is a US-made gun, M16, which is a new weapon seen in Kashmir from last few days in viral pictures that new weapons have been introduced with militant ranks. So it's a big success. Abu Talha's killing, which was wanted in many cases in North Kashmir, Hajin area, and now he has been neutralized in South Kashmir yesterday in Algar Kandi, Pulwama area. Now the IGP Kashmir is in at around 11 a.m. doing a press conference where he will brief us about all the happenings of the encounter and how big it was the success for Jammu and Kashmir police and other security agencies.
Khalid, before I let go of you, this is one part. This is one part of the terror operations against terrorists which is taking place. But the another aspect is the sort of headhunting which terrorists are doing in Kashmir. A lot of people in past 6 months affiliated to security forces or working with security, civil administration or civic administration, whenever they have gone home or to relatives or for civil social functions, they are being beheaded. This is becoming a new trend.
Yes, we have seen that the killing of the BJP worker, Gawhar Butt, he was beheaded, and police told us that behind his killing was a group of militants whom they have identified, all belongs to the Lashkar-e-Toiba and Hizbul Mujahideen. It was earlier 90s when we have seen this trend that militants used to behead the persons whom they want to kill. This may be that the short of ammunition is always with the militants here because when they infiltrate, they can't come with ammunition and guns because this is very risky for them. They come without ammunition when they infiltrate, and then they here snatch rifles or bloods from the security forces. We have seen a lot of rifle snatching cases in previous months in Kashmir. So this can be the reason because they have short of ammunition and now they have started beheading their targets, but they cannot do that with this.
Khalid, you are making a very important point. But if we are looking at the visuals which are streaming right now, the visuals of the weapons, generally it was AK-47 which was being used. But if you look at these visuals, these are like sniper rifles. It's like terrorism 3.0. These are upgraded weapons which have which are being pilfered, or they have come across the border. Earlier it was AK-47 or AK-56, but this is a different ball game altogether, Khalid.
Yes, we have from last couple of days seen some viral pictures of militants carrying the US-made M16 M4 guns. So one of the guns is believed to have been recovered from yesterday's encounter site, which is called M16. That's a US-made rifle, and this is a new weapon which militants are carrying here. This is another concern for the security forces, that the person who is involved in militancy is now carrying a very sophisticated weapon, which when we told one police officer about that gun, he told that this is really infiltrated by from Pakistan, these new weapons. So they are very few. We have seen with one of the top militants called Salim Tiger of at Hizbul Mujahideen, whose pictures have gone viral with this gun, M4 and M16. That's all US made. So one gun has been recovered yesterday from the encounter, which we have been told, one of the police source. So that gun may be shown to us when IG will do the presser. But this is a concern that sophisticated weapons are now supplied to the militants who are doing their activities here.
Thank you for this update. But I think the most important point which my colleague Khalid made from Srinagar was this is an American-make weapon which has been recovered from the terrorists in Kashmir. And generally, the weaponry which was being used was something which was used in Afghanistan or which was used by terrorists in Central Asia, primarily AK-47, AK-56, and similar category of assault rifles. But for this type of weapon to pilfer across the border with sniper capabilities is cause of great concern, which means that the terrorists are acquiring capability to target Indian security forces from distance. And I think that should be a cause of concern. Rather than focusing on the hits, I think the major part of this story here is that the sort of weaponry which is being recovered, and this is because Indian security forces have gone for the high value targets against all odds, and delivered where everyone have failed.